going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing our first free agency signing for the Chicago Bulls this year. It's been a very long time coming for us to actually do business, make a signing and stuff of that nature. We've been watching team after team make their decisions, make their future, and ultimately look at a lot of players that we've been talking about fare off to different teams very quickly. But the Bulls have finally did something today. Ultimately, is it the best choice we could have done? Possibly not. Is it the worst choice we could do? It's far from the worst choice we could do, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. But today, we're going to be talking about Andre Drummond. We're going to be talking about him joining the Chicago Bulls. We'll give you the contract details and stuff of that nature. It is, in my opinion, a player that does make us better, but ultimately, as I said before, probably not that first choice. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls signing on Andre Drummond. It is for a multi-year deal. It's not just for 1 year like a lot of people have been saying, but ultimately, is this the right player for you guys? Do you think this is the player that's going to give us the impacts that we need heading into next season? We'll take a look at the stats, ladies and gentlemen. Played for Philadelphia and the Brooklyn Nets last year, and his season averages was 7.9 points per game, 9.3 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists per game, shooting 57% from the field, 0% from the three-point line. We all know Andre Drummond is not a three-point shooter. Now, ultimately, Andre Drummond, those are his stats now, ladies and gentlemen. I think you know exactly what you get with Andre Drummond. Till this day, I have no questions about it. Andre Drummond is one of the best rebounders in the NBA today. Whether it's off the bench or with the starting lineup, whatever we decide to do with Andre Drummond, if he's going to be a future player or if he's going to be a player that is solely for the bench, I'm not really sure about all of that. But I can guarantee you, if he's on the floor, he's going to rebound the ball with a very, in my opinion, very decently. I think last season, he averaged close to 4 offensive rebounds per game. That was a big struggle for the Chicago Bulls. I remember that for a long time. We weren't able to grab offensive rebounds. I think Andre Drummond will bring that to the Chicago Bulls team, so keep that in mind also. And I think our rebounding numbers in general will skyrocket because outside of Vucevic, we had to rebound as a committee. We were very small. With Andre Drummond, I think our rebounding numbers are going to boost up dramatically. So that is an impact player in my opinion. Someone that will come in, rebound the ball, and make an impact. And because of those offensive rebounds, he's also probably going to give you a decent amount of putbacks in terms of that center position. So those are some of the positives you get with Andre Drummond. Is he a rim protector? I think he's okay. Again, not my first choice. I think my first choice would have clearly been Mitchell Robinson in terms of the rim protection side of things and being a paint presence on the defensive end. I don't necessarily look at Andre Drummond in the same light, but he did average a block per game last season for the Brooklyn Nets and for the Philadelphia 76ers. So you're good for a block per game with Andre Drummond, but ultimately, is he the rim protector that we truly needed? I think there were better out there. But I guess you do get some more positives in that way as well. You do get the rebounding. You will get offensive rebounds. You will get putback buckets and stuff like that. You know exactly what you get. You know the negatives coming in with Andre Drummond. I think sometimes he tries to do too much, and that ends up putting him in Shaqtin' the Fool moments. That ends up making him look in certain ways as a player that doesn't necessarily do great things. But looking at some of the reaction on Twitter as well, Philadelphia fans and Brooklyn fans, I think they know exactly the good things that Andre Drummond brings, and I don't see that changing with the Chicago Bulls. I think what you see with Andre Drummond is exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get a rebounder, you're going to get a player that's going to be scoring in the paint, you're going to get a block per game, you're going to get those things with Andre Drummond. But looking at, I guess, the contract, it's a 2-year deal, $3.3 million per season, so that's $6.6 million overall. Again, I don't think this is a bad thing for the Chicago Bulls, but we can clearly see, again, looking at the targets that we actually had in mind, the Isaiah Hartensteins and the Mo Bambas and the Mitchell Robinsons, where we still don't know what's happening with Mitchell Robinson. I'm assuming he's not going to be on the Knicks anymore. We'll wait and see. But ultimately, those players were paid or will get paid. They're going to get paid, ladies and gentlemen. And I feel like Andre Drummond is kind of the cheaper option that we went with that can still make an impact, can still make us better, but wasn't the best player out there, not the best in terms of development. With Mo Bamba, with Isaiah Hartenstein, with Mitchell Robinson, they're all young players, 24 years old. They can still develop into something further than what they already are. With Andre Drummond, he's 28 years old, so he's not young, but he's definitely not old as well. He's kind of in his prime years technically, and what you see with Andre Drummond is exactly what you're going to get. I don't like his free throw percentage. I'll say that now. That's one of his weaknesses that I'm not going to look forward to with the Chicago Bulls. I hate players that miss free throws. Well, I hate the fact that they do miss free throws, but hopefully that could be an improvement on this team. And ultimately, that's really all I have to say about Andre Drummond. Is he the best option? No. I think our best options went very quickly. Is he our worst option? No. I think there are a lot of options we could have went after that would have been, I guess, worse than Andre Drummond. I think Andre Drummond is in the middle of the pack for me. And if AK believes that this is the player that's going to help us in the next coming years, then I'm all for this. And I can't wait to see Andre Drummond on this team. I think he will make an impact on this team. And I think he's better than what we have. I think he's better than Tony Bradley. I think he's better than Tristan Thompson that we had. I think he could be good for us, but we could have done better. I just think that the reason why we didn't do better is because of the prices that these players actually went for. And I guess the owners have to take a little bit of blame for that. And what I have to say about the owners, I'm not going to say too much about it, is sometimes a leopard does not change its spots. If the Bulls didn't want to go into the luxury tax this season, we've seen it a few times over the course of the Bulls' career. They don't like going into luxury tax. If they don't like it then, probably not going to like it now, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we should have expected this coming into free agency. I personally never talked about it, so I can't say I should have given you a warning. I didn't really think about it, to be honest, but that's exactly what it looks like is happening. So, again, if those rumors are to be true, I'm not going to make too much of a comment on it now. We'll wait and see what else the Bulls could do in free agency, but it was a bit disappointing to wait this long and to not get our #1 targets, but we'll wait and see what Andre Drummond could do with the Chicago Bulls team. He's on the team now. I'm going to be supporting Andre Drummond. We've been talking about him for many years. I actually wanted Andre Drummond over Nikola Vucevic a couple years ago. So I can't say I like Andre Drummond. I can't say I don't like Andre Drummond, but I'm here to support him now. He's a Bulls player, and let's get this going, and hopefully he can make the impact that I think we all know he can do. And we'll wait and see what the outcome will be. We'll wait and see if that makes us significantly better. All of this is a wait and see situation. Hopefully we can do more in free agency. I think we're going to need more than this in free agency, and we still have a little bit to spend as well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.